Welcome to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. In this podcast, we discuss the how-to of creating conscious leadership for business, life, and the world. With ordinary people doing extraordinary things and being truly in control of their own health, wealth, and happiness. Knowledge plus action with a plan creates magical results. Introducing your host, Julie Hogbin, author, international speaker, mentor, disruptor, and creator of conscious leadership, and property investor living in the UK. For many years, I have taught leaders and managers within business to operate transparently. And it was a word that was bandied about quite regularly a few years ago. And it seems to have gone a little bit out of fashion. And to be really honest with you in a transparent way, I truly believe that it's something that if we can all do this and bring it into our business and into our life, our relationships will be so much better. So I thought I'd do an episode on transparency. What is transparency? So here we go. Transparency is about being open and honest. It is about contributing ideas, opinions, and proposals. It's about giving feedback to colleagues, to partners, to friends. It is about challenging what needs to be challenged, critiquing what needs to be critiqued, and it is also about shared celebration. Transparency in its purest format means not holding back, not brooding, and not allowing tensions or resentments to build. If we do hold back, brood, allow tensions and resentments to build, it will damage a relationship, whether that be in work or life, within business or life. Transparency demands that we address issues with the person concerned rather than with other people. And it requires us to raise issues as and when they arise with the intention of clearing the issue up. So it isn't about nit-picking. It isn't about telling everything to everybody all of the time. There are boundaries in place with transparency, and we are transparent with a principled approach with all of those boundaries in mind. Transparency is saying how it is for you, using the language of I, being genuine and authentic. And it is also about taking care to say things respectfully in a way that can be heard. So we think about how we deliver the message that we want somebody to listen to. Respect includes raising the issue as quickly as possible, bearing in mind everybody's workloads and other stresses. And there are a lot of those at the moment. And also raise the issue as quickly as possible, following the rules of assertion. So using assertiveness appropriately, not aggression, not passively, not manipulative, aggressive, but assertion. And transparency means requesting your rights clearly and firmly without apology. So when you're transparent, you would never start a conversation with sorry. A person operates, unless of course, I'm hearing myself say that, unless of course you are apologising for something that you have done and you are accepting responsibility for something. So a person operating from transparency accepts praise and owns their own mistakes and failings. A person operating from transparency does not get defensive when challenged. They welcome the challenge and actively learn to understand and learn from the issue being raised. More often than not, when a transparent individual receives constructive feedback, they will ask questions to find out the true meaning of the constructive feedback. I'll do some more episodes on feedback. It's one of those things that we think we know how to do well, and sometimes we don't always get it quite right in the moment. Communicating transparently includes giving clear and full information, telling the truth about the reason behind things, and stating our intentions. It is about giving the necessary level of detail without being prompted or nagged. So we are present in the conversation, providing as full information as we can, without using too many words. Communicating transparently includes giving clear and full information, telling the truth about the reasons behind things, and transparency involves challenging moaning and challenging gossip. A transparent person does not spread gossip, even inadvertently, by checking things out with others behind someone else's back. Transparency is also about following processes and acting in line with agreed policies and procedures, so not hiding behind them when you were talking about business. So what transparency is not, it's not a genetically inherited trait, it's a learned behaviour of which everyone is capable. So everybody can learn how to be transparent. It's the principle behind the intent. And in my experience, few practice this to its truest possibilities. Transparency is not lying. It is not pretense. It isn't a facade. It isn't a half-truth. And it's not about inventing excuses or saying what you feel you should say. It's not an excuse to hurt others, to be disrespectful, to not consider the possible impact of what you are about to say or do. Transparency is not bombarding others with your stuff. We are all responsible for our own baggage. We've all got it. But it's not a way to try and get counselling from your colleagues. If you need support and you need help, then request the support and help rather than just offloading and downloading. And although transparency is not about secrecy, it is also not about disclosing more than you want when it comes to personal information. And that comes back to your boundaries. It comes back to your principles. And please remember, when you are providing information, when you give information, whether that's online, offline, in a meeting, out of a meeting, around the water cooler, in the canteen, standing in your own kitchen, talking to the neighbour across the fence, whenever you have expressed an opinion, whenever you have given the information out, you cannot take it back. So what does a transparent person do? And this really is about transparent person, sexy example leads the way, and they are a leader. I'll do a lot more episodes. I'll do more episodes, and it may be a lot, it may be a few, but it will be more on communication. I've got them planned already coming up. So a transparent person manages their messages and messages. I'll cover that in another episode. But a transparent person also checks out the meta messages of others. They will own their own accomplishments, so their strengths, and they'll be very happy to accept that they own their own accomplishment. I was talking to somebody the other day who said, I'm not bragging when I say I'm good at this. And I'm like, you're not bragging, you're good at it. That's okay. And it's okay to tell people that you're good at things when you do it in an assertive manner. A transparent person will own their own mistakes and their own weaknesses. A transparent person is aware of using humour. If you've got a straight message to give it straight. It's not linked to humour. And with a transparent person, if you challenge a person and they say, oh, I was only joking, that is not being transparent. Transparent person will assert their own right, as well as respecting the rights of others. So we can all assert our own rights, but how do we do that? What's the communication style that we do that in? And a transparent person establishes clear boundaries, and they keep them, and they will tell people what they are, and they will provide people with information if that boundary is overstepped, pushed, stretched. Transparent person will give feedback, both constructive and praise, in a timely manner. They will respond to adults as adults rather than children. They will avoid gossiping and talking behind anybody's back. They will check out others' feelings and will never act on an assumption. So a transparent person will ask questions to get to the root cause of whatever it is that's going on. A transparent individual does deliver tough messages. They will give constructive feedback, and they will see that as being respectful and serving the other person. A transparent person will give thanks and praise and recognition without being prompted, and they will source thanks and praise and recognition from external bodies to provide to the individual, and whether that's a team or another organisation. They will pass on that information. A transparent person will speak about and use behaviours in their language rather than labels and personality. A transparent person always has the bigger picture in mind, and they will always seek to serve others, creating an environment of trust and openness. When you operate and work within a culture of transparency, the staff team, senior management down, chief exec down, first line manager, front line staff upwards, are operating within an environment of trust. And when the whole staff team trust each other, the results sort of almost go without saying, but it's worth saying, improve, increase. Bottom line margins improve, waste reduces, people are happier, the culture improves, you get less mistakes, you get more openness, you get people helping and supporting each other, because they genuinely know that if there is an issue, if there is something that needs to be spoken about, someone will have the conversation. So all those little niggling doubts that are sometimes present within organisations and families, you know that they don't happen, because you know if somebody needs to talk to you, they will. Operating transparently is a dream for a lot of people. Many people think they do and they don't, because operating transparently truly is about knowing how to communicate your message effectively and well to everybody around you. This works with a checkout supervisor, it works with a bus driver, it will work with children, parents, brothers, sisters, family, businesses, business partners, your boss, the people you manage, your friends. It cuts across every gender, every age. It cuts across continents. It cuts across all of the nonsense that can go on with people not communicating effectively. If you operate transparently, you set this in as a principle, you know how to do it, you will be able to deal with any situation. If you want to know any more about this, you want somebody to come in and do a talk to your business, whether it's online, offline, however you want that to happen, please contact me. This is one of my absolute passions. And learning about transparency and seeing what it can do within cultures and operating within this way, I can really help you do it. Doesn't matter who you are. If it's what you want to do, I can help. So get in touch if you want to. Ask me any questions, send me any examples. I can support you through it without a doubt. Thanks for listening to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. You can contact Julie on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and hear me out. Please subscribe to her YouTube channel for how-to videos and more content. And please message Julie to have your questions answered. Until next time, remember, knowledge plus action with a plan creates magical results. See it, say it, write it, believe it, and achieve it.